Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bugger and I'm coming at you with what the hell is this crap on my computer? Alright, hear me out, okay? I don't play this a lot, but I actually was like everybody else. I quit Diablo 3 a few months back. Game did not live anything up near its expectations. And I, like everyone else, thought it was crap. So then why is it back on my computer? Well, my nephew came to me, who actually hated this game more than I did, and actually said he was playing it and it was kind of fun again. And I was like, what? So, at first I wasn't going to play it anymore, but then he convinced me just to try it, that it wouldn't hurt. I already own the game, so installing it and replaying it would not be a bad thing. So, that's what I did. I re-downloaded the game, and I installed it, and I got to admit, it's not bad. I don't think it's great, maybe I haven't really tried Path of Exile. Maybe Path of Exile is better. Maybe Torchlight 2 is better. But it's actually a decent game now. They've made a lot of changes. And I'm not going to go over all those changes. Right? There's plenty of videos out there now that have all those changes. Right? Changes to the auction house that make it better. Prices are a lot less on many things. Here, we take a look at things that drop like this, and they're viable. Legendary items are viable. Farming is more fun, and you can actually change monster powers. So the higher monster power you go, the more likely you are to get drops. And I think the better quality the drops can be, I'm not sure. As well as Paragon levels. You continue to level after level 60. You get increased magic find, increased gold find. So the higher you go, the better your chances at finding stuff, the more gold you can farm. And you also gain stronger levels, so it becomes easier and easier to farm. I am farming on monster power level 4 right now, and I decided I wanted to go over a couple builds. And the reason I'm doing this is I need something simple to put up today, and this is pretty simple because I have a lot to do today, and I don't have a lot of time to do it. So I wanted to go over the Barbarian and some new and two builds. There's the build I use when I'm looking for survival, and then there's the most popular Barbarian build that I'm going to go over. So if you don't like this content, I apologize. Diablo will not be showing up very often on my channel, but it is something I may bring you from time to time. It all depends. So let's jump into game here, and I can just go over the build, show you the items I have and whatnot. That's the other thing they've done. They've made all abilities viable. All abilities in the game are viable now. Quit flashing. Thank you. So there is usually the standard cookie cutter build, and give me one sec. My frame rate just went crap. Alright. I don't know. Fraps does that every once in a while. So there's no such thing as a cookie cutter build. The most popular build in Diablo for a Barbarian is only used by about 7% of the Barbarian users. The overall, variations of that build are maybe 20%. That still leaves 80% of the Barbarian population that doesn't use the most popular build. That includes me. Now, I want to show you my inventory real quick. Okay? I wish I could move this. I don't like the fact that I can't. But I have the new Immortal King's Triumph with a 14% life gem. These legendary shoulders, the Vile Wards. This is an amulet I've had for a while. Actually, this comes from way before patch. And I really need to get a better one. I need one with strength. I need one with slightly higher resistances. I want to get up to at least 70-something resistance. I can get better critical hit damage. I don't need the extra gold from monsters. I'd rather get critical hit chance. If I could do that, that'd be a great replace. I just got these gloves a little while ago. Much better resistance and a 7% critical hit chance increase. This is a chest piece I just got a little while ago. And again, 80 element resist, 136 vitality. The strength's a little low, the base strength, but it's still not bad. These bracers I've had for a while. I do need to improve them, but it's really hard because I don't want to drop strength and vitality on them. So finding one that has that much strength and vitality that has better resistance to all is not easy for me. I just picked up this ring a little while ago. The strength is low on it, but it had 51 resistance and 3% critical strike chance. The ring I had prior to that had like no resistance to all on it, so this, and no strength, so this was a straight upgrade. Bought this ring not too long ago. Strength, low vitality, but again, the ring that I had here had no vitality and really good resistance to all elements and a critical hit chance increase. The Immortal King's belt. There's no vitality on it, but there is 5% life. I get 15% fury, and I get a 3% converted to life, and increase in cleave damage by 14%.
You know, I have some deals happening soon.
Pants I haven't changed in a while, but they're pretty good. Boots I really need to change. The resistance to all is low, but again, high strength, high vitality is kind of chaining me to keeping them. And then the big daddy here. This actually is not a great Scorn, but it's not a bad one either. With 324 strength and 111 vitality, 120 dex, increased critical damage by 178%, and I have basically a 96% chance to inflict anywhere from 6.5 to 9,000 bleed damage, and I got it socketed with a 90% critical strike damage increase. So, you know, base stats, 44% chance of critical strike. That's with the Scoundrel. Without him, it's 41. When I use Shout, it goes up by 3%. So without him, it's 44% with Battle Rage. With him, it's 47%. I got a 410% critical strike damage increase. Damage reduction, 62.13%. That goes up with Shout, 66%. You see, with Shout, I finally got one resistance over 1,000, another one almost there, and everything else is 990 and 936 is my lowest. And my base gold find is 190%. My base magic find is 154%, and I get a base bonus experience of 45%. Not including the stacks that I get from Valor, which I think is an extra 75%, something like that. I'm not sure. Anyways, that's the gear, and all the items that you see here I either found or I paid. I think the most I paid for was the Scorn for 3 million. Everything else I paid like 1 million or 1.2 million. Or less, and only like 2 or 3 of the items did I pay over $1 million. Everything else came in at like 750,000 or less. In the old times, any of this gear that I have on me would be 50, 60, 70, 100, 500 million, even $1 billion freaking gold. The prices were ridiculous. So things have gotten a lot cheaper. Now for my build. I'm actually farming at a level that I can't use the most popular build. I don't have the damage and the life for it. Even though I do have about a 6% total damage converted to life, it doesn't quite work. Life on hit with percentage would work much better, but this is geared for survival, and it's what allows me to farm a Monster Power 4, even though my damage is actually a little low. I think I only get somewhere in the mid 70,000s. In Monster Power 4 right now, so it's not bad. Now, I use Cleave because of the increased damage from my belt, and I use Reaping Swing, which generates additional fury per enemy hit, so that helps. To me, it helps more than the typical. I also use Whirlwind with Blood Funnel. critical hits while using Whirlwind restore life. So as long as I can Whirlwind, I can actually gain life back. Again, that's geared towards survival. It's geared towards large groups. And it actually works really well. I also use Battle Rage with Into the Fray. Critical hits have a chance to generate additional Fury. It's 25 Fury if it happens. And of course, it increases my critical hit chance and my damage for 120 seconds, 2 minutes. Again, staple right now, Warcry with Impunity, increasing armor, and as you saw, increasing my resistances, the damages of all types. This is my oh shit button. This is when I get in trouble. It only has a 30-second cooldown, and Ignore Pain reduces damage by 60%, I think it is, and Ignorance is Bliss. While I'm in Ignore Pain, I gain life for all damage dealt to all enemies. If I start getting hurt really bad, this is my oh shit I need to live button. Doesn't always work, but it's got me out of a lot more difficult spots than I could ever describe. And of course, Wrath of the Berserker, and I use Thrive on Chaos. Fury gained increases the duration of Wrath of the Berserker, which means for every 25 Fury that I gain, I gain an extra second. It does help extend it. It doesn't do it as well as the main Barbarian build, but I find that it works good enough. My passives, of course, are Ruthless, increasing my critical hit chance and my critical hit damage. Bloodthirst, I gain 3% life of all damage done, again geared towards survival. And Weapons Master, I use Scorn, so I use an axe, so I have an extra 10% critical strike chance. And even with all the critical strike I have, it's not enough. I need probably over 50%. And without the Scoundrel, I only have 44. So I need another 6% at least, I think. And that's basically my build. And it works really well for the gear that I have. The gear that I have really isn't all that great. But it works. And this build works in keeping me alive in Monster Power 4 in Act 1. And I can actually do it on Act 3 too. It's a little bit more difficult depending on the enemy and the location where I'm fighting them, but I can do it and have a reasonable survival rate. I would say 85% of the conflicts I come into with rare packs and whatnot, I don't have too much of a problem dealing with them. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to set up the most popular Barbarian build, and I'm going to show you what that is. And maybe in another video I'll actually show you a little bit of farming, but probably not in this one. Alright, so not a lot changes on this build. This is the most popular build that Barbarians use. Now, as far as I know, this is most widely used on Barbarians that use shield and one-handed weapon, or that use two one-handed weapons with high damage, high life on hit. That's as far as I know. Because, you know, this all goes on keeping you alive through damage that's done on hit and generating fury on hit. And by doing that with two weapons plus the abilities works a lot better than the big two-handed weapon. But I've always loved my two-handed Barbarian, and even though I have a one-handed Barbarian, my two-handed will always be my main and my favorite. So, the first ability, and actually, if you have the gear, this works. I was farming on Monster Power 2. And I used this setup, and I was just tearing through stuff once I got a couple items upgraded from what I originally had when I first came back to the game. So this can work if you have the right gear with a two-handed barb. So yeah, Bash with Instigation. Basically, this is just a single target, brutally strike an enemy with a chance to knock him back, and it generates additional fury. Personally, I don't like Bash for any reason. I prefer Cleave. So even if I were to use this build, I would use Cleave with the extra fury generation per hit. Whirlwind with Hurricane. This allows you to do your Whirlwind and move at your regular speed. Whirlwind, as most of you may know, slows you down when you use it. This allows you to move at your normal speed or whatever speed you're normally running at. You don't suffer the slowdown. Battle Rage with Into the Fray, and Warcry with Impunity. Here's the only other difference. Sprint with Run Like the Wind. It leaves tornadoes in your way, usually around 4 tornadoes, and you have to move like within a certain distance to have that happen. You can't just move back and forth a small area and tornadoes will appear. I found that doesn't happen. So you have to kind of like move in a circle. Like if you have a bunch of enemies grouped up, it helps to move in a circle around them rather than go back and forth through them. But this is kind of like, you know, the big damage doer along with your Whirlwind. Use Sprint with Run Like the Wind in this, and you just hurricane like mad back and forth around large groups, and you just cut through them all and bring them down. Otherwise, everything else stays the same. Ruthless, Bloodthirst, and Weapons Master. Now, when it comes to these two builds, this is what I always say. Use what works for you. Okay? It's that simple. You can substitute, like, maybe you don't have enough armor. Well, maybe you can substitute. Maybe you have enough life on hit, though. So fine. You can substitute Bloodthirst, and you can use, I believe it's Tough as Nails. That put your vitality into your armor as well. Or, you know, maybe you don't like Bash. Maybe you want Frenzy. You know, you can use Frenzy, or you can use, like me, you can use Cleave. It's all up to you and what you want to do. I just find that this build works for me and helps keep me alive a lot longer. So it's very, very important for me that I keep this. Now, in another video I'm going to do, I actually have a monk, and I have a fairly nice monk build that works, and I wouldn't mind showing you some farming to show how these videos work. But I'm not going to do that now. I will do that at another time. I just wanted something quick that I can put up, because I'm also going to put up one more quick vlog after this video to make an announcement of something that is actually very, very nice. I'm very happy about that's going to be happening. It wasn't easy to get to, but I've got it, and it's coming next month, and that'll be in the vlog. So, in the end, folks, this is all I can say. Give Diablo 2 a chance. Give it a second chance. You know, even if you don't like it, it doesn't hurt to reinstall it and try it and see all the changes. And if you still don't like it, you can uninstall it again. I'm not telling you you gotta go play it. I'm not a fanboy of this game. I don't play it that often. It's something I get into and do when I'm looking for something to do and I just don't want to do anything else. You know, I'll just go and farm in Diablo for a little while, or I'll go and work on one of my heroes. You know, give Diablo, I keep saying 2, give Diablo 3 a chance. Give Diablo 3 a chance. That's all I can really say. It doesn't hurt, and it's actually not as bad as you would think anymore. But other than that, folks, in my vlog coming up, there's not much else for me to do. So, I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. As much as I've enjoyed bringing it to you. And, hey, what can I say? Give Diablo 3 a second chance. It's not bad. I don't claim it's great, but it's not bad. Until next time, folks, One Big Bugger signing out. I'll see you then.